WWF Series 3 Hasbro figures on today's episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another wrestling special. It's part 3 of the Hasbro series. And this is the third series. I think there's 12 figures in the series and one very rare figure. So to introduce you and take you along the rest of the way is none other than the Baseball Prince himself. Come on in, Baseball Prince.
How's everybody doing today? How are you? Welcome back. Series 3 and Part 3. Appreciate you guys joining me for the first two. And we'll just get right into it. So, obviously the big suspense is the Texas Tornado. Do I have this one signed? Is it signed? The figure came out in 91, and he, of course, we know he had a tragic death maybe within a year. Unfortunately, this is the one where I do not have signed, okay? Spoiler alert, it is not signed. There are some huge ones signed in this series that I do have. This, unfortunately, is not one of them. I have never seen a single one signed. I wish I did. If I saw it, it'd be in my collection. If it was up for sale, it'd be in my collection. I'd figure out a way to get it. It's obviously a pricey figure, but as you know, the movie came out, and we know his backstory. It's a super hard figure to get. I mentioned in Series 1 when I was talking about Andre the Giant how there are 4 of these that are just astronomically rare. Andre the Giant, because of his the year he died compared to when the figure came out. This is something very similar in that this is the second figure that a lot of people, and myself is one of them, consider just impossible. So there's 2 more coming up. That's in Series 10 and Series 11. We'll go over that when we get there. Do I have them? Do I not? We'll see. But, of course, unfortunately, I do not have this one. So let's move on to the next. Just, again, starting with the ones that I do not have. There are 3, unfortunately. 3 out of 12 that I do not have. This is probably... this series is probably second to another series where I, have, I guess the fewest complete, or close to complete. 9 out of 12 is not bad, 75% if my math is correct. But as you've seen, I have, a full series 2. I have 5 other series complete as well. So, when you have a complete series and then only 75%, it's kind of a damper in the collection. But here's the next 2, and the last 2 that I do not have signed is the Macho Man Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior. As you see in the Tornado and on these 2, if they're going to be unsigned in my collection, I like to have them gradable, as close to, high grade as possible. I wait, to purchase the ones that are what I think in the best shape. If I get them and they're not up to par, eventually I will just, move on from them and try to upgrade. As you see, everything is going to be American card, unless, and there's one figure in this series that I did mention, that there is one non-American card in my set, and it's only because it's just the rarity of it. I had to kind of settle, so to speak. So anyway, so this is the number 3 of Ultimate Warrior, 3 of 3. He was in Series 1, 2, and 3. I have the first 2 signed. This is the Ultimate Warrior I do not have signed, obviously, with his purple trunks. And then you have the Macho Man Randy Savage. There are 4 Macho Man Randy Savage in this set. He is in Series 1, 2, 3, and I believe either 5 or 6. As you've seen, I did not have Series 1. I do have Series 2 Macho King. I do not have Series 3 Macho Man. And in the last one, Macho Cowboy. Let's see if I have it. We'll go on. We'll reveal that when the time is right. The difference between this figure and the Macho King is, of course, he does not have his accessories. And if you turned over both figures, the trunks on this one just says, I believe, Macho Man, as opposed to the King figure with his scepter and crown. It does say Macho King. So a lot of people, when they're displaying them, they'll turn this figure around to show the difference in the trunks compared to the Series 2 Macho King. It's silly, but it's us Hasbro fans. We can distinguish the differences that way. Other than that, there's no way to know from the front. So that's why people do that. So anyway, yeah, if you spot a Macho Man, if you spot a Ultimate Warrior 3, or if you spot a Texas Tornado, please get in contact with me. I will stop at I will stop not trying to collect that for very long. There's nothing that would stop me from trying to get that figure. So money doesn't matter. I will try to obtain that. Just let me know. Here's the least rare of the signed ones that I do have out of the 9. This is Greg the Hammer Valentine, as you see. This was obtained in person. I got it at a Philadelphia convention. I got probably about 7 or 8 different wrestlers. Now, of course, a lot of these have multiples. Like the $1 Million Man has 3, and others have multiples. So not only did I get 7 or 8, people, but probably 10 or 12, figures in the set that day signed. So this was one of them. There's only one Greg the Hammer Valentine figure. This was nearing the end of his WWF run. At this point, he wasn't, a main player in the WWF. By 91, 92, he was pretty much out of the scene. Not that he was in any title scene really, maybe into Continental and so forth, but he was at the end of his career at this point. As you see, he's probably in his late 40s here. Anyway, so Greg the Hammer Valentine, of course, I did get this JSA authenticated after I did get it signed in person. I think I have a photo of him. If I do, it's going to pop up on the screen. If not, sorry. There is a super rare Greg the Hammer Valentine Hasbro. It is not part of the main series. It was recalled as a 2-pack with the Honky Tonk Man. They were rhythm and blues. Honky Tonk Man obviously had his his Elvis character, and he kind of went with that. He had his own musical character. He had a guitar and so forth. They pulled it. I don't remember off the top of my head the reason why, but he is on Rhythm and Blues is on the card back of some of these Hasbros, and it makes it more rare when you see Rhythm and Blues on the back. So there is a prototype that got passed around a few times, sold, and it is worth big money. So it's out there. They made a prototype of it. Never hit shelves, but yeah, that's the valuable one you want. But I don't have that. All right, next, the second probably, and by the way, value of the Texas Tornado in that condition, which is pretty flawless, $150. I mean, you can get a Texas Tornado, a foreign card, beat up for $50-$60. When I say the values, I'm talking in the condition I have, and again, unless noted, they're pretty tip-top shape. Then you have the Macho Man Series 3 figure, as you've seen. In that condition, it had a slight little corner. Nothing crazy. That's at least a $200 figure unsigned. And then the Ultimate Warrior, again, that's top condition, probably about $300. Okay, so here is here's Typhoon. He was part of the natural disasters. Okay, with Earthquake, and we have Earthquake coming up. Maybe it's signed, maybe it's not. We will see. He signed it. Typhoon, WWF. The natural disasters, beware the tidal wave. I asked him, obviously, to do that, and he, of course, obliged. This is also JSA authenticated. I met him in New Jersey, Stockholm, New Jersey. I forget the name of the store. But I think I met him the same day as Akeem, same store. And super nice guy. He's known in the wrestling, signing business as one of the nicest guys. He's been doing it a while. For that reason, his autograph is not worth a ton. The figure, again, in this tip-top shape, unsigned is probably 125 ish, signed maybe in that range, 150. Yeah, nowhere near the value of his counterpart, Earthquake, signed. We will get to that. Here is the next one, and same Philadelphia convention. That same day I met Greg the Hammer Valentine, $1 Million Man, and Axe and Smash. This is when I met the Sergeant Slaughter, and he writes, "At ease, maggot." Sergeant Slaughter. He has a beautiful signature, pretty consistent, as you've seen with, if you've seen his autograph, he's very consistent with that Slaughter. It's like squigglies, but he does do inscriptions. If you ask, "At ease, maggot." I have another one that says a different line. I'll maybe show that in a different video. But again, super nice. He took his time, JSA authenticated. Really nice conditioned figure, 150 range, sign. His autograph gives a little bit of value. I'd say it's $200, 175 to 200 sign. Beautiful, again, green paint pen. I had the Typhoon do an orangey type And that's what I like. Again, if I'm getting them signed in person, I'm gonna pick out the nicest figure that I have or that I can get my hands on, and the nicest paint pen. I do have multiples of most figures, so I kind of pick out. I either get them all signed, or I pick out the best one that I think is going to look nicest based on the condition. So here's Coco Beware. I met him at the Wrestling Universe store, and a couple years ago, and I don't know. Hopefully he's not watching this, but he was a little standoffish. I was kind of taken back by that. A lot of people had that same experience. Maybe it was just a bad day for him, or maybe that's just how he is. But not so friendly. But he signed my figure. With I had to give him money. Of course, there was money involved, so he had no choice. But he signed my figure in an orange paint pen. Signs it Coco Beware Hall of Fame '09. And I don't know what he does on top of his signature, but he does that on every one. Maybe he's drawing his bird. I don't know. JSA authenticated. Okay, this is a tougher one to get on a good condition American card. Okay, you see a lot of them with the foreign card. You see a lot, in worse condition. For whatever reason, this is a tough one to get in really nice American card condition. For that reason, again, this is not super mint. This is probably a little bit of wear, an 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10-ish. But in this condition, 125 to 150, top condition, I would pay $200 for a super mint American card, Coco Beware. Signed, it's, again, closer to 175, 200-ish. Of course, when I say values, I'm also talking authenticated and in the condition that it's in, an American card. Next, this is not so much the figure the autograph that's rare. It's a super easy autograph to get. It's the figure that makes this a little bit more value. And this Brutus the Barber Beefcake is a super rare figure to have. I don't know why, the story behind it. I could tell you that his Series 1 figure is probably the most readily obtainable figure in the set. And it's the least valuable. But this one, other than, green cards and maybe, the Taker or Bret Hart red card or a Dusty, this is a top 10 valuable figure on an American card and in good condition. Easily. It's maybe closer to top 5 if you take away maybe some of the green cards. I don't know why it comes with his shears. This is a really nice condition figure. It is JSA authenticated. It was signed in a blue paint pen. It was obtained the same day and at the Philadelphia show as when I got the first figure. Again, just probably a $400 figure unsigned in this condition. Doesn't add a ton of value. Some people might even argue that it hurts the value to get this type of figure signed, but of course I don't care about that. I want to try to get everything signed and in the best condition. And I hate getting one that's probably in a top grade signed because again, it does consider to hurt the value. UKG will actually dock you 5 points for having a figure signed, and they won't grade it as a signed figure. But I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to get that type of figure signed. So here is Hulk Hogan. This is the last figure signed that I have in this set. That is where the person is still alive. I didn't again collect any Hogan figures signed myself. I bought them all signed. Actually, I bought these all as a set from somebody. There's 4 of them. Okay, this is number 3. They made them in Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. And I believe Series 5 or 6. I always get Series 5 and 6 confused. So bear with me on that. So this is a Hogan. This is JSA authenticated. This is not the best condition. Okay, it is a little bit of a yellow in card. It's a red paint pen. And in this condition, this Hogan figure is probably 125, 150-ish. And I have it unsigned in top condition. With an American card, with a nice bubble, with a really nice card, it's probably a $300 figure, $250, $300. This is not that, again, the signature itself maybe adds $100, $150 to the figure. It's about a easy $300 figure sign. He charges, I think, a few hundred, so if you wanted to get him. But yeah, Hogan, still obviously super rare to get. He doesn't do a whole lot. I know he does at his beach shop, at his beach shop, but yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this Mr. Perfect signed figure. Two ways this differentiates from the rest of my collection is it's not on an American card. It's the only one in my collection that's not on an American card. This is a French card. As you see, all the words are in French, and he does not sign with his wrestling name. He signs it as Kurt Hennig. He does not sign. He did not sign this as Mr. Perfect. I would love to have this on an American card, sign Mr. Perfect, but as I said, you really take what you can get when talking about these super rare figures. Okay, this one I do have authenticated. This has a full letter, and the letter, the JSA is on the letter itself. I will show in my next series 4, where there's not a whole lot of figures, there's only a handful. I'm going to show you a couple other things, including my JSA stuff, because that's going to be a super short video, as we know, only 4 figures. But anyway, yeah, super hard to get. He died in 2003, okay? And, you know, there's a second Mr. Perfect figure in the red card series. We'll see if we have that one. Super, super rare to get a Mr. Perfect figure. This figure, again, not the best condition, sticker residue, you know, here and there, a little wear. This figure on a foreign card in this condition is $50. That's all it is. This is a $50 figure, 60, 70 bucks all day, not a problem to get this figure, okay? To get this figure signed on a foreign card, even as Kurt Hennig, $1,500. If it was an American card, Mr. Perfect signed, probably $3,000, easy. But, of course, foreign card, Kurt Hennig, hurts the value. By the way, American card, unsigned, in top condition, is one of the rarest you can find, probably a $300 figure. It's, for whatever reason, you see 95% of these Mr. Perfect figures on a French card. I don't know why. I think they mass-produced these Series 3 on French cards, and you see a million of him on French cards. Him on an American card is super rare. $300 figure. I have probably 1 or 2 of them in top condition, obviously not signed. Okay, we have 2 left. All right, and these are obviously the best 2. This one, and it's just incredible. Okay, this is the Big Boss Man. You saw Series 1, him sign up the card on an angle as Big Boss Man. Here he signed, you know, a little bit downwards. And if you look closely, I'm going to show you. Okay, Big Boss Man on top, and Big Bubba Rogers on the bottom. That's his WCW name. Okay, this is a wow. All right, this is a super, super cool figure. All right, typically anything other than his WWF name would bother me, but for whatever reason, I think this is super cool. Big Bubba Rogers under Big Boss Man. I think the fact that it still has Big Boss Man on it and then Big Bubba Rogers is super cool. It, of course, is JSA authenticated. This bought from the same person as the Ultimate Warrior. As you saw, he put it in the same spot, the JSA authentication. I typically get it here, but I'm totally cool with it being here. Not a problem. The card itself, it is an American card, but the card itself is beat up. It's crappy. It's a bit of a yellow. This is a $75 figure, unsigned, okay? You see the KB toys. This is nostalgic, $3.99, crossed out from $6.99. Beyond that, you see a lot of 3 for $10 KB stickers. Those were imagine going back and just buying up the shelves, 3 for $10. I mean, we'd be rich. You wouldn't have to get any Bitcoin stock. You would just buy WWF Hasbro's at KB in 1995, and you'd be rich. You'd retire right now. Super cool. Okay. I think this is probably, you know, in top 5 of my collection as far as, you know, what I think is coolest. As far as value, is probably in the top 10 as well. This authenticated as Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers probably adds a little value. Some may say it may hurt the value because it's not his WWF name, it's his WCW name. This is probably 2,500-ish. Yeah, I mean, easily. I would say easily. And here's probably a top 3 figure in my collection. The next one is the last one. It's, as far as rarity goes, it is just incredible. Okay, it is just insane. All right, I got this one and I was just like, wow. Okay, Earthquake. All right, on an American card in gradable, perfect condition. All right, I did of course get this authenticated after the fact. I took a chance, so to speak, about getting it unauthenticated. I paid as if it was already authenticated and probably beyond that. I've stepped up and overpaid on some of these figures, knowing that I'll never have another chance again. It just is what it is. But somewhere down the road, I'm sure it'll meet the value that I paid, or if maybe it already has. I don't know. It's worth whatever the you hear this a lot. What is it worth? It's worth whatever someone would pay for it. Okay. So yeah, this is no exception. Earthquake. Okay. On an American card, beautifully signed. All right. It's just incredible. I have a full letter of authenticity from JSA. This figure, without the autograph, because of the beautiful condition and American card, is probably a $175 figure. Signed, this is probably $3,500, $3,000, $3,500 easily. I'm gonna leave that on the screen as I sign off. Just incredible. Okay, I hate even taking this out of its plastic holder, but I do it for you guys to show you. So, please like, please subscribe, please share the video, comment, tell me what your favorite one is. For me, it's probably Earthquake #1, close second, Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers. These are probably, again, top 2 of 10 in my collection as far as value and what I think is coolest. So, yep, this will be obviously posted soon. You'll see it, obviously. Series 4 will probably come closely after. It's a short series. I'm going to extend it a little bit with some other things that I'll talk about as far as Hasbro is concerned. And then look out for Series 5, 6, and beyond that. Some complete series coming up, okay? And back to back, so to speak. So, if you didn't like seeing a couple unsigned ones here, you're not going to be disappointed coming up in some complete series. So, it's the Baseball Prince, watching on Facebook and Collectibles. We'll see you soon.